today's video about stress. When we are stressed, we revert back into automatic habits. Those habits that just are our default. We may not even be aware, we just lapse right into it. So one tool to use to manage these stressors is to bring a kind, curious attention to the experience and journal. Jot down what is being experienced, your thoughts, your emotions, your body sensations. Now, these don't have to be complete sentences, grammatically correct. You're just getting these thoughts, feelings, behaviors, impulses, whatever is occurring out. For instance, if you're reading your body and the body sensations and you have a chronic or an acute pain that's involved, for instance, a chronic back pain that actually invokes feelings of irritability, defeat of some sort with your mental state of being because you have to carry around this pain. Notice that. That affects how you interpret the world, the perceptions around you. Or notice when you have a conflict with a spouse or a coworker and your stomach gets tense and then you have symptoms of stomach upset like IBS. By you bringing your kind attention to what is occurring within you, you're not only building a relationship with yourself and beginning to actually interpret and turn toward those parts of yourself with compassion and curiosity, but you're also giving yourself an outlet to process. By bringing that kind attention to what is occurring, you can manage your stressors, disentangle from that unconscious automatic reaction, and choose a response. This can aid in making the emotion, the thought, the body sensation less overwhelming, allowing you to manage by witnessing what's going on instead of being enmeshed in it. You're simply having the experience and it doesn't define you. You hear me say a lot of times we can be in this world but not of it. You begin to witness what's going on. When you're able to take note of the emotions, the thoughts, the moods you're having, one word, one thought pattern, jotting it down, even jotting down what you're feeling in the body. List even the impulses, the maybe irrational thoughts, and ask yourself, by getting it out and being able to view it, how can I bring a more mindful approach? How can I bring mindfulness into this reaction? Can I take a pause? A breath, a series of breaths. How can I bring a compassionate awareness to self? I put my hands at my chest. It's like I'm giving myself love and compassion when I'm having a moment, right? Placing my hands here, it's an intentional, and then I create either a loving kindness series of sentences. I imagine sending something to myself like peace, joy, love. How can you help yourself? And I think journaling actually gets it out and helps you actually start to disentangle. I love that word. Become out from under what you're experiencing. And even list those irrational thoughts. And then ask yourself, how can I bring a mindful approach to it? What do I need? Do I need to take a series of breaths? Do I need to do some breath work? Do I need to take a mindful pause? Do I need a body scan to help that pain that I'm experiencing? All the while bringing curiosity, compassion to this experience. And then notice that tendency that's spiraling to go down this old patterning, and now you're bringing a sense of awareness to it before you get down the rabbit hole. And when you're witnessing it, instead of being enmeshed, you'll notice there's some things I can't change. If there's a particular stressor I cannot change, I need to change my attitude toward it. And then give yourself that pause. You're not going to come up with maybe how to cope with it in that split second. But by you doing such an exercise, you give yourself space to get out from underneath it, out from being enmeshed, and to gain clarity on how best you want to proceed. I call it the stop technique. There's all these beautiful mindful pause, the ABC technique. I have videos on all these. The key is awareness, recognizing you always have choice and taking your power back to be a deliberate creator of your life, not a victim to just old habits, unconscious behavior that keep me locked in and stuck in contracted emotions that don't feed my soul. We have emotions, they ebb and flow. They're not meant to stick around. When they stick around, we become a victim to whatever we're experiencing. We actually have choice and we can create the thoughts we want to think. We can build emotional resilience. Not a victim to any external circumstance, but instead a master of how I want to show up in that circumstance. I know the difference between the things I can change and the things I cannot. And I change my perception of it, my attitude toward it. And I have tools in my toolbox to do just that. Now, this is, again, if you want additional assistance, I really am here to help. This is what I have been teaching for over 18 years and have a proven methodology to help you do that. So don't be a victim to your stressors. Actually learn how to navigate. Use that challenge as an opportunity, as a teacher, and then choose. Choose how I want to navigate, whether it's chronic pain, acute pain, whether it's emotions that are contracted, fear-based, blame, guilt, shame, thoughts, those repetitive negative thoughts, whatever it is, I encourage you. I think journaling is an excellent exercise to help you get it out. So you can get out from underneath it, see it for what it is, and then purposely proceed.
Hello, everyone. So today I just wanted to cover some points about being a mindful leader. Now, when I say leadership, don't immediately go, well, Nance, I don't lead anybody. I'm just by myself, doing my thing. We're all leaders. We're leaders by example. We show up in the world. We're leaders. We can choose to have a ripple effect on all those that we touch. So today, I want you to practice some points. First and foremost, be present. Be present in the moment and be aware. Awareness is power. When you notice how you're showing up, notice how it's affecting you, the world around you, you begin to be able to be the master and not a victim. Being aware starts the whole process. Choose to be calm. Notice when you're all jacked up. Heightened awareness, notice what you're noticing. Don't judge it. Just how can I choose to detach from whatever this emotion is that's going on so that I can then practice calmness, which leads right into my next point, equanimity. When we're in a neutral state of being, we can see from 50,000 feet. We can see solution. So what are you going to do to help yourself Get out of the reactionary, foster calmness, and then breed focus and clarity. Focus and clarity. Notice when you're distracted and when you need to bring yourself back. No judgment, but practice focus and clarity and positivity. We are wired negative. So notice when your mind goes to that negative self-chatter, negative thought patterns, negative thinking, and stop, pause, observe, and proceed. How you hold the power to change that patterning. And last but not least, practice compassion. First, compassion for yourself. It may be foreign, but then you can practice compassion towards others. So I hope this was give you a little insight on starting your day, encouraging and practicing these. Now, be gentle on yourself. These are all lofty. I just listed off a ton of them. But you're going to start noticing and bringing them to your awareness. That's when you can encourage change, or encourage yourself to be the best version of yourself that you present to the world, and have a ripple effect on all those that you touch, that you interact with. So we'll sum it up real quick again. Be present, be aware, be calm, practice clarity, focused clarity, equanimity, neutrality, positivity, and compassion. Take care now.
So I get the request from my clients, what is my daily morning mindful meditation practice like? And can I offer any tips on setting up one? I believe that creating that space first thing in the morning, that morning routine, sets my day off on a peace-filled, empowering, positive way. Now, sure, there's some days that are better than others. Some days I wake up and I have tasks that I'm not looking forward to doing, or I feel overwhelmed by the number of tasks I have. But it's very easy to be peace-filled when you're in those positive moments, but a little bit more challenging when you're not. And whether the challenge comes as a physicality, like maybe you wake up and you don't feel so good, you didn't have a good night's sleep, or maybe you have worrisome thoughts on your mind and you're immediately going to a negative thought pattern. You have stressors. You're anticipating things in your day. Your list is huge. It is in those days that I feel that challenge to find time to sit and be still and cultivate a even just optimistic or hopeful or neutral state of being is vitally important. It's imperative in those days to have already established a habit and have a habit in place so that it's no different than you wouldn't even think of walking out of the house without brushing your teeth, right? So I encourage you to really take that time for self. And you can start with something small. It doesn't have to be lofty, but it does have to be consistent. And that's where you're going to create a space that supports hopefulness, positivity, even just neutrality and an acceptance of what is. The courage to greet the day. These higher vibrations, if you will, because we know I'm all about vibration, every emotion, every thought carries a vibration. I'm a big proponent of that. So, do I want to greet my day with a contracted emotion contracted vibration or something that's energetic? So to begin with, what's a space? So let's talk about the space itself. What feels comfortable for you? It needs to be a spot that's inviting for you to sit in. It feels comfortable. And I keep it simple. It doesn't have to be some lavish meditation space. I encourage it to just be a place that feels good, free of distraction. So if there's lots of high traffic, not a good place. Like if there's lots of people moving around, if there's lots of clutter. My particular space is filled with plants. I love plants. I love the energy that plants bring. And my chair is a chair, a comfy chair that was my father's smoking chair. And we've had it reupholstered, and it's just a cozy, it gives me like a bear hug. I feel warm and safe in this chair. This chair is my favorite place to meditate. It's my favorite place to read and journal. And I also believe if you set the intention to always visit that space for your stillness practice, it holds a vibration. It creates a feeling that even energetically, I sit in this chair and I go, whoo. So I encourage you to just something simple. And maybe some of the things I'm saying are you're not able, like it's not able to just be a chair that only you sit in. That's a-okay. But these are just food for thought. I like my space has lots of light, sunlight. So that's another, lots of windows. And then now let's talk about the actual practice. I begin by first, right when I wake up, I go and get my cup of coffee. I love my coffee, could be tea. And I take a moment to engage my senses, really wake me up, right? So I get my cup of coffee, I come to my chair, and I anchor in to the present moment. I engage my senses. I feel myself seated in the chair. I smell my coffee. I embrace the present moment's silence. I might hear something outside, but I'm engaging my senses, what I hear, see, smell, tactile, really bringing myself in, and I celebrate waking up. I'm very fortunate. I have good health. I don't have aches and pains. So I immediately celebrate and appreciate my good health. So I encourage you to reach for something that's easy for you to appreciate and celebrate first thing in the morning. Pick something that's just easy for you to celebrate. It's also all about just being present, just being in this present moment, focused on the present moment with an attitude of curiosity and non-judgment towards self. I see you, Nancy. I hear you, Nancy. And I love you just the way you are kind of attitude. Notice I'm saying my name. You would place your name there. And some days will feel easier to embrace this, and appreciation is easy. Other days it may be a struggle, but it's choosing compassion towards yourself and taking the time to just be with yourself. Good and bad days. Just the best of your ability, you're reaching for something that feels good, that's easy to celebrate. Okay? Now, do your best to not reach for your phone first thing in the morning, right off the bat. But again, find your own routine. That's what I choose. I do my best to just take a few moments for self, maybe 10 minutes, just drinking my coffee, talking to God, because that's what I'm comfortable with. I'm setting the intention to be a vessel of love and light, But again, what is yours? Just taking that time for self. I might enjoy a guided meditation. Or I might just be sitting with myself and choose a word and imagine breathing in peace, for instance, and breathing out anything that isn't aligned. I might choose to start my day by journaling. A couple of key thoughts, appreciations, gratitude. I change it up all the time. I'm a big proponent of affirmations, positive affirmation cards like by Louise Hay, or angel cards, not tarot cards. I'm not a tarot card person, but I like angel cards. Again, that they're uplifting messages, positive and reflective. I might do a guided meditation on an application like the Chopra app or the Calm app. There's a million apps out there. I may choose to sit and just think of positive aspects, things that I want to create in my life and manifest, a daydreaming session. So I mix it up, but anything that can encourage emotional resilience or cultivating a sense of love and joy and peace. And then I'm a big proponent of sitting in the stillness. Just being in the stillness and allowing creative thought to come in. Just observing, just like mindfulness teaches us, and observing if there's strong emotions that show up. And then explore those. I have tools in my toolbox, and I won't go into that here. Again, I can always assist you in building a strong practice. This is what I do with my clients. So I encourage you to explore various techniques. And I'll close out by just saying, it's all about building consistency. It's all about greeting yourself with love and kindness and patience. And don't worry if you miss a day or you're struggling to stay focused. It's all about creating consistency, and over time, the focus will develop. It's always a journey, always. It's a continual journey of self-exploration, learning and growing, new ways to connect to yourself. But the key is doing it. Cultivating a relationship with self, cultivating a time of being before you're doing. Now, and then I might go about stretching or doing some yoga. I do some form of exercise to get my blood going. But my day begins with this nice stillness practice. I hope this helps you in setting up your practice. I wish you all the best, and if I can assist in any way, please do reach out. So today's video, a very easy an effective tool to help you take that mindful pause. It's called STOP, an acronym, STOP. So let's look at this acronym. The S stands for simply stop. Notice what is occurring. Literally stop what you're doing. Take a pause. Give yourself a moment to rest, pause, and collect yourself. What's going on with me physically, mentally, emotionally? Whenever we feel triggered, just stop. Try not to react for just one moment. Give yourself that moment to tune in. We call it the sacred pause too. And it will prevent you from saying or doing something that you may regret. So we begin with the S, stop. T, take a breath. Connect to the breath, notice the breath. The breath is always with you, and it is a very quick way to bring yourself into the present moment. Take a conscious breath. Now that you've paused, take a deeper breath or a series of breaths. Again, really encouraging yourself to stop the reaction or the trigger and drop into more of a responsive, a more empowered state of being. Feel the expansion of your belly. The belly breathing, abdominal breathing, activates the parasympathetic. When we breathe in and out of our nose, we activate the vagus nerve. These are all things that help our body come out of fight, flight, and into a more relaxed state of being, a more empowered state of being. Notice the sensations as the breath flows in and the breath flows out, and really building a relationship with your body, feeling it. Feet on the floor, get grounded. By focusing our minds on our breathing, we reinforce this pause, calming our bodies. And now we roll into the O. Observe, notice the physiological sensations. What's going on in my body? What am I feeling? The O stands for observe. What's rising? What is going on? My thoughts, my emotions, my bodily sensations. Is my jaw tight? Am I clenching my teeth? Is my stomach uptight? Our bodies are the best mind reader ever, and they'll tell us what's going on. Tune in. What does my body feel like, and where do I feel it? Where might these emotions be coming from? And is there a history here? Broaden your awareness. You're taking in the circumstances. You're noticing that you can be in a situation or an experience and not be ruled by it. Very, very big concept here. Explore yourself always with curiosity, self-compassion, kindness, and non-judgment. If the experience involves another person, try to put yourself in their shoes, remembering that everyone is acting to make themselves feel happy, safe, respected in some way. And for added support, when you're offering self-compassion, you can encourage yourself to let go of any stressful thoughts, release the tension, calm down, and open to your choices of how you want to purposely proceed. Decide how could I respond, or how do I want to respond, and what would that look like? Now, you're not taking action yet, you're simply observing it. This would be this scenario, this would be this. What do I want to do now? So it's then you're really choosing, you're seeing, I call it getting out of the weeds and up on the hilltop, and you're seeing that broader perspective, and you're purposefully proceeding. So S stands for stop, sacred pause. T, take that breath. O, observe what the body is feeling physically, what your emotional set point is, your mental state of being, because remember, these three affect how you perceive the situation to be. So you want to really be tuned in. And by this way, our perceptions aren't facts. So we want to make sure we're taking it in and we are observing what's going on. And then P, purposely proceed. Decide how you want to show up, how you want to proceed. So I hope this portable mindful exercise can support you in those difficult moments, whether it's a trigger, whether it's stress, whatever it may be. Remember, awareness lies in that power, that the power of being aware is very, very empowering and gives you that moment to collect yourself and wisely make a choice. Till next time. All the best. Many times we get caught up in amplifying a challenge we're experiencing to a state of suffering for ourselves. So what do I mean by that? I say all the time to my clients, pain times resistance equals suffering. Pain is all the challenges in life, and pain is inevitable in life. It's all those experiences that bring challenge to us, whether it's a internal or an external challenge. What do I mean by internal and external? Internal challenge is your emotional triggers, things that cause you to bring programming, belief into this present moment internally. External challenge, deadlines, dynamics in our relationships, family, friends, co-workers. When we push against the natural flow, the natural flow of harmony, peace, a sense of contentment and joy and happiness, a feeling of being in alignment, which is love, the love vibration. When we aren't in flow, that's when suffering really occurs. We're pushing against. It's easier said than done, no doubt. And it takes extreme awareness of self, of your triggers, of your, taking in that current situation you're in or experience with a fresh lens. Noticing when you bring previous baggage into the present moment. This is how this person made me feel. This is how they react. This is what they do. And you bring repetitive thought that creates a belief system into this present moment. It really amplifies that challenge to a suffering state of being. And how can we live aware of what our triggers are that actually activate these thought patterns? Hurt people hurt people. Now, we don't deliberately set out to hurt others. I know that there are some people that create pain. Most of the time we create pain unconsciously. Hurt people hurt people. Isn't that the masses? So how can I bring a state of healing for myself, activating a love, joy, peace, high vibration, Dr. David Hawkins' model of power versus force? How can I bring that type of energy into my challenges? That is the state of flow. And that should be our ultimate goal. How do we do that? By learning to understand aspects of self. Understand what emotions, what beliefs we're bringing in to that present moment experience. Experiences in life teach us so much about ourselves. Every dynamic is student-teacher, teacher-student. They have something to teach us in every moment. Some experiences more than others. But you walk away from every dynamic with a lesson, and you impart a lesson. Student-teacher, teacher-student, if we're only aware. So there's a beautiful exercise that I'd love to share. In these challenging situations and experiences, this practice can help you stay open to really seeing that challenge for what it is. O, it's the acronym OPEN, O-P-E-N. O, open to whatever is showing up, including differing opinions. You don't have to agree with, but you have to accept that there's another viewpoint. You have to allow that people have other opinions. P, pause to hear and feel. This holds so much wisdom for you. Am I pushing against? Am I amplifying this situation to a suffering experience when it only is a challenge? How can I pause, hear, not attach to what's being exchanged here, and feel how I'm feeling, understanding myself from an emotional perspective, the thoughts I'm creating that are creating a belief system, and what my body, physical sensations are telling me. E, engage awareness by being curious about any of your bodily sensations, your emotions, and thoughts. You're getting really curious about what that challenge is teaching you. And you're open to allowing that experience to teach you something about yourself. And then notice the benefits of exploring a wider view. If we get out of that reactionary state of being and be able to take in a greater perspective so that we can see not only their opinion, not only their feelings, but also honoring ours and understanding ours. This comes with great diligence on your part. It takes effort, and we know we get stronger and better at the things we practice. So I encourage you to practice this open exercise in mindful awareness in those times of challenge. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on how it worked. Recap, open to whatever shows up, including different opinions. P, pause to hear and feel. E, engage awareness by being really curious about what's going on internally and how you're processing your external experience. N, notice the benefits of exploring a wider view. My clients hear me say, come out of the weeds, get up on the hilltop. Detach from the situation, observe. Encourage yourself to heal those emotions that are triggering for you, that are creating emotional attachment, so you can see a greater perspective and avoid amplifying that challenge to a suffering state of being. Till next time.
That stress and burnout was your top challenge. Did you know that employee burnout is rising? 52% of all workers feel burned out. Millennials and Gen Zers report 59 and 58% respectively. And I want to ask you, do you think that stat reflects you? Do you think that your stress levels affect how you show up in work? Do you think your stress levels impact your personal life? See, the bottom line, how you interpret and process what stresses you directly affects not only your physical health, your mental and emotional health, but also all those around you. So I want to also ask you another question. If you could learn to be more aware of your stress levels as they're happening and manage your stress levels and ease your burnout, do you think you'd be interested in learning more? Would you like to create a sense of balance and peace for yourself? So how do I propose doing that? By learning to live and work and peak perform from the inside out. Learning to live mindfully aware of how you show up in life and how you think and feel and think in this present moment. And so for over 15 years, I've been coaching professionals to create a life of purpose, passion, and peak performance, both personally and professionally. Now, I can't solve your burnout and your stress levels and improve your stress levels right here and right now in this short video. But I can plant the seed and share one simple tool to assist you right now. And it begins with present moment awareness. Do you feel you struggle with living in the present moment, being present for conversations, doing your job, actively listening to your spouse or your coworker, your children, being present when you're at their activities. You're not alone. Harvard Business Review study found that over 58% of employees reported an inability to regulate their attention at work. Between 45 to 58% of the time, leaders can't keep their attention focused, and only 2% do anything about it. So I want to share a simple but effective tool to help improve your present moment awareness. Now, like anything, our mind is a muscle, and we know we get stronger and better at the things we practice most. So I'm just planting a seed today because I do genuinely care. This is my passion and my purpose, to improve and help you create a life you design, not just going through the motions, a default lifestyle. So this tool is called the 5-4-3-2-1 method. It's a very grounding method. You're in a conversation and you realize I am totally not present. I want you to focus on 5 things you can see. Notice in the room, 5 things you can see. Even if you're looking at the person, 5 things you can see on them. Focus on next 4 things you can touch. If my hand's on the table, my feet are on the ground, I can feel my skin touching my clothes. 3 things you can hear: the person's voice, the hum of the air conditioning unit or heating unit, the traffic outside. 2 things that you can smell. Now this one gets a little more challenging, right? But maybe there's coffee in the room if you're at a meeting. Maybe you're drinking a cup of coffee. Maybe the fragrance of that person's cologne or perfume. And 1 thing you can taste. Again, another challenging one. Maybe you can check in with your mouth. The toothpaste, like I can feel the toothpaste in my mouth, the taste of it, if you just drank some coffee. So in closing, I want to ask you another question. Do you think if you were living more present in this present moment, it would improve your productivity and how you process and manage your stress? Do you think it would mitigate your burnout? Now, I recognize it alone can't do it, but it's the start. It's the start. And if you improve your attention and focus by just a few percentages, what would that do to your life? If you want to learn more about my proprietary cutting-edge approach, this approach is not for everyone, but I'm not going to dive in more in here. But I've been coaching and doing this method for over 15 years. And this mindset proprietary method that I use, that I've developed, will manage your stress and your burnout and transform your life. Guaranteed. Just view the recommendations right here on that I've received on my LinkedIn page. So if this is something you'd like to learn more about, please simply reply yes, and we will send you a document to share a little bit more information about it. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate you and look forward to staying in touch. Many of you know that Dr. Joe Dispenza is a huge influencer of my Pathway to Inner Peace, featuring the 4R method coaching methodology. Dr. Joe talks about how emotions are a chemical elixir in the body. In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One, he talks about how he uses the example of a person who draws from guilt. Someone who constantly, anytime there's a situation, somehow, some way, has a feeling that it's my fault, that whatever is occurring is my fault. The person who constantly draws or thinks that everything and anything is influenced by that person and creates a sense of guilt. That person creates a chemical order in the body, according to Dr. Joe, that maintains that chemical order, and in this example, guilt. And basically, that person will do anything unconscious to themselves to maintain that chemical order. You practice the thoughts of guilt
So much so that the cells become swimming in a sea of guilt, of their own doing. You become addicted to a feeling of feeling guilty, and will do anything and everything to maintain that chemical order, regardless of your external circumstances. This is powerful stuff, folks. When I read this book many years ago, it changed my life and it changed how I coached. So how do we know or discover what emotional current I'm running from? What is that chemical elixir in my body? And the exercise I want to share here on this video is one that will cultivate a sense of awareness of your emotions, your thoughts, and your body's sensations. Living aware of how you interpret the present moment, whether it's a moment of stress, whether it's a moment of feeling good. It's a very simple exercise, but helps you to begin to experience what's going on inside. Your emotions are a key component on how they influence your thoughts. Your emotions create your thoughts. A lot of people find this a little confusing. Well, wait a minute, I create a thought. Well, feeling, thinking, feeling. This is a constant exchange. Feeling your emotions, noticing your thoughts, and then your body is the best mind reader ever. So you want to tune in and notice what's going on in your body, the body sensations. They're all influencing that present moment and how you interpret that present moment, your perceptions. Many of my clients realize that they've turned off their emotional indicators in an effort to navigate work and life from a thinking perspective as opposed to a feeling perspective. Somewhere in their course of time, they have tuned into their analytical brain and quieted their intuition, their gut, and not leading life from heart center or following their heart. Somewhere through life experiences, somebody could have been told to not follow their heart or to not trust their intuition, to instead see the data, see the reality for what it is, and go by that. Or maybe something made them doubt their intuition. Maybe choices that were made and they lost faith or confidence in following their intuition. So these are all reasons why we could actually get not, turn off our ability to discern what emotion am I experiencing. And another thing, some emotions can feel really scary. And somewhere along the way, we think emotions define us. They don't. They ebb and flow. They come and go. I'm simply experiencing this emotion. I am not that emotion. And thus, what happens is it's easier not to experience that emotion, numb ourselves, whatever it takes to not feel. Because A, I'm afraid to feel. I might go down a big black hole or get so in tune with my feelings that I can't function. So feelings can get very, very scary. And I'm very, very aware of this as I'm coaching and I'm holding people's hands as they are taking those blinders off, really getting tuned in to how they're feeling. So this exercise puts our toe in the water. And it really starts to get you tuned in to the awareness of your emotions, your thoughts, and your body's sensations. So would you like to practice with me? Let's get comfortable now and practice. And we just begin by tuning into the world around us, really bring ourselves into the present moment, engage our senses. And I want you to engage the sense of sound. Like right now, I can hear the air conditioning running. I can hear birds outside. What do you hear? Just taking in the sounds, you don't have to label them, just notice them. Feel now your buttocks in your chair. Feel the points of contact that your body is making with whatever it's touching. And now, just invite yourself to tune in to what is passing through your thoughts. What thoughts am I creating right this moment? Can you view the thoughts like passing clouds? You're not attached to them. You're just allowing them to pass by. You're observing them. But if you go and find yourself attached to a thought and getting caught in a train of thought, you haven't failed. Simply pull back and go, oh, I see my thoughts. And what's occurring in my body right now? How does my body feel? Now, we're not taking much time. You notice how I'm moving through this very rapidly. You can take as long or short as you want. I simply want you to start bringing your awareness to it. Notice the body. Gently scan the body. How does my body feel? Thoughts are going to keep thinking now. Now we're thinking, how's my body feel? What parts might ache? What parts feel fine? I'm simply observing and I'm not judging. And there's no right or wrong. And then, how do I feel emotionally? Right here, right now, am I tired? Am I anxious? Am I content? Am I at peace? Again, no right or wrong. You're just gently turning toward yourself, seeing what you're feeling in this present moment. Getting really dialed in to your inner world. And now, just invite yourself to have what we call choiceless awareness. Whatever is passing through, whether it's a thought, a sound, a feeling in your body that has your attention or your awareness. We'll just stay silent for a moment as you invite choiceless awareness. Just being in this present moment, being aware. This simple exercise is just tuning you in. Remember, non-judgment, just curiosity like a scientist observing an experiment. How do I feel physically, mentally, and emotionally in this present moment? We're not out to fix anything. We're just accepting what is and how I feel. I'm learning to discern and be aware of what I'm feeling and recognizing how it influences my experience. Just open awareness. Now set the intention that when I go to open up my eyes, that I'm choosing to see from a fresh lens. Can I choose to see this present moment from what we call beginner's mind? Allow it to stand on its own. Can I just take a moment, maybe even sigh, and invite a newness? Can I invite a feeling of peace? Can I reach for something better feeling than what I'm feeling now? If I'm feeling peace-filled or joy-filled, can I maintain it? Can I set that intention that with each flow of breath in this present moment, I'm going to set an intention to greet it with newness, a sense of wonder and excitement. Can you do that? Because guess what? This present moment influences every other moment. I can choose how I want to feel. Regardless of my external circumstances, I can create internally a willingness, a sense of courage, acceptance, neutrality. And all these are better feeling than tired or anxious. And I'm choosing it because I know I have the power to see this present moment with beginner's mind. Newness. I'm seeing it, everything in my surroundings for the first time. Let's set that intention together. And then when you're ready, gently open the eyes. Choose a focal point and expand your vision from there. Till next time, wishing you only the very best, and know I am here to assist you on this journey of self-discovery, self-development, and self-awareness. So I get a lot of requests to understand what Reiki is. When people look at my profile, and what is Reiki? R-E-I-K-I. Reiki has been practiced for over 1,000 years, and it was discovered, the original one, by Dr. Miko Yasui back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. And Reiki is laying on of hands. The word Reiki comes from two Japanese words, Rei, R-E-I, and Ki, K-I. Rei means spiritually guided or spiritual wisdom, the higher knowledge, spiritual consciousness, the universal energies, the wisdom that comes from God, who's all-knowing. Ki means life energy, life force energy. Ki is the same as prana, chi, vital life force energy. As long as there is life, there is ki flowing. Ki is the energy of our thoughts and our emotions and our spiritual life. When our ki is high, we're free and healthy. And when it's low, this is where we become compromised. We get sick and we become vulnerable to illness. So Reiki
Reiki is spiritually guided life force energy. Reiki is one with God consciousness. So how does it work? It's a touch therapy, and it actually is about bringing the body into a state of balance. Our natural state of being is healthiness, happiness, and wholeness. And Reiki helps bring your body into balance. This complementary therapy is becoming very well known in the medical communities, and I'm so lucky to, right here in Philadelphia, the University of Penn, their oncology services offer the complementary therapies like Reiki, acupuncture, massage, to complement modern medicine. Reiki has been proven to help when in chemo treatments, radiation treatments, to help the body relax. It also has been very helpful in hospice as someone makes their transition and helping the body to relax. But it's also very useful in our well-being, wellness. So before you get to dis-ease or disharmony in the body, the chi becoming disrupted, we have wellness, right? So Reiki can also be used to help the body maintain wellness. So how is it administered? A Reiki practitioner who has been attuned to Reiki lays hands or hovers hands and channels additional life force energy, universal energy, from the crown of their head out through their hands, and encourages the cells in that recipient's body to come into balance. And how do they do it? It is aligning with their chi, the recipient, which is their innate ability to choose wellness, to raise their vibratory chi, to promote healing and wellness. We're alive because life force is flowing through us. This is what EKGs read. It also flows around us in our energy field and aura that's 6 feet from our bodies. Life force nourishes the organs and cells of the body, supporting them in their vital functions. And when the flow of life force energy is disrupted, it causes diminishing functions in the organs and tissue in that physical body, in and around that area. Dis-ease, disharmony. The life force energy is responsive to thoughts and feelings. And it becomes disrupted when we accept, either consciously or unconsciously, negative thoughts or feelings about ourselves. And these negative thoughts and feelings create disharmony in the body and disrupts the natural flow of our life force energy, thus affecting the organs and tissues in the body. It diminishes their vital functions. So Reiki encourages and heals by flowing through those affected parts of the energy field and charging them, bringing them up, raising their vibratoriness to be in alignment with our natural state of being of healthiness, wholeness, happiness, as Dr. David Hawkins refers to, love, joy, peace, the high vibratoriness of flow. So when we're in the flow with our natural state of being, we're at our highest vibratoriness, peak performance, healthiness, wholeness. So it heals by coming into those negative parts, charging them, encouraging them to drop or fall away from that negative, to break it up. In so doing, Reiki clears and straightens and heals the energy pathways. So this is just a brief little description of what Reiki is and how it works. I've been a Reiki master and teacher for over 15 years. I utilize it every day in my own self-healing practice, level 1 of Reiki, and I train others. So if you'd like to learn more about it, feel free to reach out to me. But I find it as one of many tools to help you in overall well-being. Take care.